guys, it's Jordan and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving you all of the books, TV shows, and movies that I read and watched in the month of July. Hopefully by August, these will be back on track. She says hopefully, but not confidently. Let's just go and get into it. So the first book that I read in, I almost said September, in July was The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli. The Upside of Unrequited follows Molly, who is an overweight teenager whose sister, twin sister, is starting to branch out into her first real relationship and is starting to leave Molly behind in a sense. She just desperately wants both her twin sister and a boyfriend in her life. Molly's never had a boyfriend before. She's had several unrequited crushes, but never a boy who liked her back. I remember going through learning how to be friends with your friends and also balance a boyfriend and your family life. I just found it super relatable. Just the whole, I just keep feeling like I keep saying the word relatable, and it's because I am, but it was just that was this whole book. This whole book was just so relatable. I need a thesaurus so bad. That was the best part of this book. Something that, took me back to being 16 years old, being 15 years old, and having to go through all of those awkward, cringe-worthy days. Just seeing it captured in a book was just done so beautifully. And I thought the romance was super precious and super sweet. Both Molly's and Cassie's, her twin sister, does have a relationship with another girl, equally as adorable. It's really, really enjoyed this book. It made me happy. It brought me back to being in high school again, and I am now currently reading Leah on the offbeat because I've enjoyed the other two books by her so much, and I can't wait for anything else that Becky writes because I'm going to read it because she just captures being a teenager in real life so well. So I ended up giving this a 4 out of 5 stars. The next book that I read in July was Reaper at the Gates by Sabaa Tahir. This is the third book in the Number in the Ashes series. There's 4 books total, and yeah. This series, especially now that this book recently came out, and when did a huge marketing campaign for this book, lots of people were getting these books, and lots of people have been reading them because of the hype the publisher is creating for the third book. And people have been raving, just absolutely raving about how amazing this series is and how amazing this book is. And I'm sitting over here in the corner are we reading the same thing? Does my book not have the same words as your book? I had this issue with all of these books. There's just something missing from her story, and I can't figure out what it is about these books I don't like. But there is something that I don't like, and it gets stronger and stronger with each book. So with each book, I also like the series less and less. But I'm still holding out hope because everybody else loves it so much. I wish I could tell you what it was I don't like about them, but I don't know what it is, and it's frustrating because I can't figure it out. And I love Sabaa. I follow her on Instagram, and she's such a wonderful, lovely human, and I think she's hilarious, and I want to support her books and love them, and I just don't. How do you defend your opinion when you don't know why you don't like something? It's hard. So if you also don't like these books and you have a reason, could you tell me what it is so that maybe I can determine if it's also my reason? I gave this book a 2.5 out of 5 stars. The third book that I read in July, though, is a new favorite of mine, and I'm obsessed with it, and it is Nowhere But Here by Katie McGarry. Don't know what possessed me to pick it up, why I searched this book, what it was about it, but I had this. Actually, it might have been because I've been watching Riverdale, and there's also a biker gang in Riverdale, and this is about a biker gang, a biker club. We follow a young girl named Emily who lives in Florida, and her father is a member of a notorious biker gang club in Kentucky. Her mom ran away from the gang when she was pregnant with Emily. Emily really doesn't know anything about her family, her father's side of the family, her history, why her mom left, why her dad gave her up for adoption. There's tons of family secrets involved, and there's also a lot of really attractively described biker men. I'm obsessed with these books right now. I don't think I've been this obsessed with a contemporary series in ever. Love these books, and I don't know why. I don't understand. They're just so compulsively readable. I love the male protagonist, and I just am eating them up. I have this thing, I really love Southern based summer books. So books that take place in the South in the summer, I don't know, but I'm like so drawn to them. Mosquitoes and humidity and the cornfields and the lakes, and I don't know, maybe because that's how I've grown up my whole life, just like brings this nostalgia feeling to me. We're getting very, very off topic. I love this like family biker mentality that they have. Sucker for very loyal, protective male characters. I don't know what it is, like not possessive, but like male characters who are super, super loyal to their family, to their friends, to their significant others, to people in their lives that are important to them. Like loyalty, I don't know, it's a super attractive quality. And it's like the basis, loyalty and trustworthiness and like being there for one another and tradition and family. And I loved it. The biker club definitely has some sexist ideas and rules, and they have a lot of like weird caveats to women, and that made me really uncomfortable, and I didn't like that aspect. But I know nothing about biker culture, so maybe this is normal. Not saying it's right. Maybe it's normal. That's just how they live their lives, and who am I to judge? I don't know. But it made me just like a little off-putted, so I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. So the last book that I read in July was Save the Date by Morgan Matson, which is the most recent release from Morgan Matson, and I actually got to meet her on her tour for Save the Date. I will go ahead and link the vlog up above if you have not already seen it. Morgan Matson is one of my favorite contemporary writers, especially for summer romance. I feel like she just encapsulates summer in her books in a way that like nobody else can. This one wasn't my favorite of hers. It didn't take place over the summer. It took place over a weekend because we were following Charlie, who is the main character. She's the youngest of 7 siblings, I believe, and her oldest sister is getting married. And basically everything that can go wrong at this wedding does go wrong, and it reminded me a lot of Father of the Bride meets Cheaper by the Dozen, because there was just like so much family drama and there are so many kids and they're pulling so many pranks on each other, and there's a lot of like drama between the members. And then Father of the Bride, everything that can go wrong at a wedding will go wrong at a wedding. Like she mashed them together and gave us this book. I really think this would make a fantastic movie. Like there's so much that happens and it's all so ridiculous that I feel like this could be a movie really, really well, really easily. It could be done and be so amazing, and I hope somebody adapts it. Being that it's over 3 days rather than 3 months, you don't get the same romance that you get in her other books. It wasn't as much friend involvement because it's centered more around family, and it is only a weekend and it is a wedding weekend, so like it's very family centric, which I loved. I really loved all the shenanigans, chaos that ensued. Like this would make me very stressed if I was involved in this wedding, but I liked reading about it from an outsider's point of view. I thought there was a lot of really great references. We do see some of the characters from her other novels because they all take place in the same small town of Stanwich, Connecticut. I really, really enjoyed this book. So I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. And that is it. Those are all of the books that I read in July. Let's quickly talk about TV shows because I actually have one to share with you this month, which is crazy. So I have been watching Riverdale season 2 this month. It premiered on Netflix, so you know I've been watching it. I'm not very far into the season. I'd say I'm like halfway-ish. I'm trash for this show, and it is trash. Like it is not the most cinematically brilliant thing ever. It gives me vibes of like the Vampire Diaries and Pretty Little Liars and One Tree Hill a pinch. Those kind of shows are shows I grew up on and shows that I love, and I feel like it's really hard to find a good teenage drama these days. Like so many of them have supernatural qualities to them or are superheroes. So I love that this is that teenage drama. It's like filled a void in my soul since every other teenage drama that I love has been not canceled but wrapped up. And I just like love how ridiculous it is. And I love the like campy, self-aware attitude it has about itself. Like it knows what it is and it is honest about it. And I just love all of the relationships. And I love that it has like this 50s feel to it. It has like this murder, mystery, crime backdrop. This is everything that I want and more. I'm obsessed with Jughead and the biker gang. Do we see a trend here? I will be continuing this in August for sure. And my goal is to finish it by the time the 3rd one premieres in October. I've also heard that there is a musical episode in season 2, and I'm waiting for it, and I'm ready. And that is the only TV that I have watched in July. So let's go ahead and talk about the movies that I saw. Did I see? I think I saw some. I saw 2 movies in July. First movie that we went and saw was Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. This movie made me cry. I cried over CGI dinosaurs, and I'm not even ashamed about it. The iconic scene with the boat happened, and if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Very emotional. Boyfriend looks over at me and says, "Are you really crying over fake dinosaurs right now?" And I said, "Let me live my life, bro." So depressing to see how these animals were treated in this film, and I know like that's the whole storyline is like, do we protect them the same way we protect other endangered species? I feel like there's a lot of double meanings to this movie. Like Fallen Kingdom, yes, the dinosaurs, but there's also way more to that title than just the dinosaurs island exploding from a volcano. I thought that the dinosaur that was like the main villain was super creepy, like super sadistic and maniacal and so intelligent, and the fact that we can make these things in a laboratory terrifies me. Chris Pratt is Owen, and Chris Pratt and Dallas, what is her name? Bryce Dallas Howard together. I very much enjoyed this movie. I highly recommend this if you haven't seen it already. And then the second movie that we saw in theaters was Mission Impossible Fallout. I'm a huge Mission Impossible fan, especially Ghost Protocol, Rogue Nation, and Fallout. Rogue Nation definitely played into this movie a lot. There's a lot of continued storylines. So if you haven't seen Rogue Nation, I don't recommend going to see Fallout. It's definitely set up where there can be and will be a sequel because it's Mission Impossible, and Tom Cruise will make them until he dies, probably on one of these sets because he's so freaking insane. I can't believe that he does all these stunts himself. Like, there are just things in these movies that a person who's not trained should not be doing, and I can't imagine how much it costs to insure him. The fact that they let him do these stunts blows my mind. He did a halo skydive in this movie, which is reserved for trained military personnel, and somebody trained Tom Cruise to do it? Blows my mind. This movie, I felt, was so self-aware. Like, it knew it was a Mission Impossible movie, and it made jokes about long-running themes of the movies, so like things that happen continually every time in each movie that have become like staples to the series, like the franchise, are like addressed in this movie, and they make fun of it. Really, really enjoyed this movie. Don't like Tom Cruise as a person, and I don't want to like him as an actor, but I can't deny how much I love him as Ethan. That is it. Those are all of the books, TV shows, and movies that I consumed in the month of July. I would love to know what you guys have been watching and reading and consuming. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, I'll talk to you very soon. Bye!